What's happening, party people? Welcome to Blues Lawyer Confessional. Let's talk about Jericho's new guitar shape that they just came out with. Recently saw in my Jericho Facebook feed, which now I'm a top fan on their Facebook page. So I get all the alerts all related to Jericho. There's a brand new model. The Nomad Vagabond is back, looking just like the last one that got them shut down. But there is a super special, unique notch at the bottom that is now making it materially completely different guitar. Definitely not the Explorer that it was a couple weeks ago. It has a little swoop notch at the bottom, which honestly, if it's on the screen for those of you watching at home, I don't know if that's where they would have the output jack, but that would be a really good idea. I mean, again, it still looks really cool. Beautiful guitar. Is that good enough for Gibson to leave them alone?
I honestly don't know. The people to ask that would be Gibson. Gibson very much can still say, "Hey, you're copying us." However, Jericho theoretically could have a defense because when you showed me this, I believe it's
Mm-hmm.
Jackson that has a very similar shape, including that little notch, that boot
Yeah,
cut.
there was I think
Uh,
a custom Kelly, and Kelly is the
yeah,
Jackson Explorer, which basically looks
yeah.
the same, a
So,
little more aggressive on top,
I
but it
mean,
had that boot on the bottom on their bottom swoop.
yeah, and I mean that would be some potential defense that Jericho could use, which is, hey, you're not, enforcing it against Jackson. Of course, no one knows if they're enforcing it against Jackson. Gibson may have sent a cease and desist letter to Jackson. They may have worked out some kind of license there. But then again, Gibson will not sue Jackson because Jackson is a subsidiary of Fender. Jericho Guitars is a subsidiary really of no one. Some guy in
Well,
Kansas.
I think again
Um,
the Kelly is has been around for 30 years and is definitely more metal, and it's more aggressively pointy. It's a different guitar, and
well,
I think the argument of the notch is, again, is like, hey, it's not the outline, it's
well,
different
well,
guitar.
well.
I mean, that's ESP does the same thing, right? I'm gonna throw up on the screen the an ESP LTD.
Gibson wouldn't sue. Also, based on that, they would be exposed to the exact same
Mm-hmm.
defense that Dean beat them on, which is laches, because hey, we've been using this for years. You never sued us.
Yeah,
Here, if Gibson were to send them a letter, hey, Jericho, come on, what are you doing here? You're still using the Explorer shape, and the Explorer shape is a registered
yeah,
trademark of Gibson. It may be enough to get them around Lanham Act liability. Once again, Lanham Act, that's
yeah.
counterfeiting. And that's one of the things that Gibson did nail Dean on going forward is counterfeiting. And that's part of the problem with that Dean case, where Dean said, hey, our headstock's completely
Mm-hmm.
different. Wasn't enough. Now, Jericho has tweaked their headstock a little bit. Instead of it having the beak, looks like the Firebird headstock
It's
almost
got the
now.
little flare, it looks
Um,
like. Yeah, it swoops back, so
yeah,
it's not the full hockey stick.
great. You're possibly infringing on a different registered trademark of
Yeah,
Gibson. It's kind of demanding a rematch. I wouldn't go down this road. It's asking for another takedown. It sucks. I mean, it really sucks. The Explorer shape is a great shape. It's iconic. It's one of the main shapes out there. It's up there with the V shape. But the problem is that that shape is iconic.
the ESP or LTD line is the EX line. I wonder if that is identifying for. I mean, come on, we know what you're doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly.
again, the Kelly, again, that's been. I remember kids when I was in high school. One kid had a Kelly. It's way pointier. It's obviously a different model. Headstock is way different. A lot of people hate it because it's pointy, but it's fine. I like Jackson. I think Jericho is a beautiful
Yeah, well,
guitar, as we noted in the previous two videos. Seems like it's, I say bespoke because we use that word on a number of videos, but they're unique instruments that are made in a way that would cost twice as much, presumably elsewhere. High specs, reasonable price.
I wish them the best. Like I said, the finish that was on that one, it was a really
Mm-hmm.
nice burst. It was a nice job.
High gloss, and then when it gets to the neck, it turns satin. I'll throw that up on the screen for you kids at home. Yeah, right now on their site, pre-order for half price, $1249.99. Buy it now. I might get two.
Before Gibson
That's
seizes
a
it.
concern though. Again, like it's enough chaos that do you want to throw a couple $1,000s to a company that may not be there to actually give you your guitar?
Where's your recourse? Phrase is caveat emptor,
Yeah,
buyer beware. If I was Gibson and I was suing, one of the things Gibson would be able to do what's called a prejudgment writ of attachment. Basically, what that would be is say any account receivables that Jericho gets, Gibson gets to seize. They can't put it in the bank, but it gets held in escrow, and whoever wins the litigation wins that pot. That's one potential thing. In order to do that, they'd have to show a high likelihood of success on the merits of the case. But again, for that, they would just say, okay, Gibson versus Dean.
Yeah.
Look at our trademark. That's more of the, where your money goes after it leaves your pocket doesn't affect you. The net result is you possibly wind up with no
It'd be
guitar.
nice if Gibson. I want Jericho to succeed because they make cool stuff and more competition makes everyone better. But if, let's say, you put down a deposit for a guitar, they go under because of Gibson. Gibson sends you like one of their mod shop guitars from Reverb. It's like, hey, we're sorry this happened to you. Here's a mod shop Explorer for your troubles. I think that'd be sweet.
That would be sweet, but I don't think Gibson would do that. I mean that they're owned by a private equity firm, and private equity firms aren't known for their generosity and their. I actually wish that Gibson would do what Fender does, and that is
Yeah.
license their stuff. That would be great. Fender, they get their shapes out there. They just say, don't copy our headstock.
Unless you license that too in
But
your Warmouth.
yeah, but I mean, other than that, you can make strat shapes and teleshapes
Yep.
all day long.
Absolutely. Every other YouTube channel has the Harley Benton tellies and the Donner strats every other day of the week.
Yeah, but are those Harley Bentons any good?
Who are we to judge? Are you any good? Tones in the hands. That's what's up.
I don't know. The tone's in the finish.
The paint job.
That's why Pelham Blue
But
sounds the
no,
best.
white sounds better.
Alpine White, it has been tested. Alpine White sounds much better than
It's true.
Olympic
Billy
White.
Corgan said so.
Really? Because I thought he plays Olympic White,
I
but
don't
with the
know.
strats.
Who knows? I think Olympic white sounds better. Aged white, which is yellow, also sounds very good. It sounds vintagey.
As you can see, I've got various stages of aging on my Olympic
I'll
Whites.
shift the frame over so they can see it. There you go. Well, good talk. Good luck, Jericho. Again, if you'd like to send us guitars, we'd love to have some too. Less fiddling, more
More playing.
playing.